welcome to the second episode of another low effort podcast.
Yeah, welcome, our beautiful dumpster goblins.
Yes, beautiful dumpster
Our beautiful
goblins.
boys. That's what.
And girls. It's 2018.
Yeah, it's 2018, but you're all dumpster goblins, and you're all horrible, and we love you.
I mean, I'm not ready to love again, but
okay. Well, I love you. So send all your love mail to danearl@gmail.com.
That's not even me. It is close, but yeah. So anyway, let's get into the meat of things.
Yeah, absolutely. How you been the past week?
It's been good. I just started doing AmeriCorps again, but that's neither here. It cuts into my time of playing video games. I binged Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you beat the whole game, right?
I had like 3 days in between, like 3 days off in between when I was seasonal in AmeriCorps. So what I just decided to do is, you know what? How about I just beat it? And there's a lot of things that I have wrong with that game, but man, is it still good?
Yeah. I mean, I've spent years and years. I beat the original GameCube version. That was years ago. So.
Yeah, that was I was the one on Steam, which I think is the PS3 version, which apparently changes some things about the ending. But
yeah, I heard about that. I think a lot of people don't like that version, but I can't remember why. I think that's like locked. That's not. I think the FPS was like locked or something, which they didn't like.
Yeah, there was an FPS lock on it. There was a lot more just like of the JRPG bitchware quests too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wanted to grind out the game, it's so hard. Also, I think they made it to get all of the like emblems. So like to 100% the game, if you're one of those people, you have to beat the game 4 times.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless your name is Gerard the Completionist, I don't think anybody should complete that game. I saw his video on it. It looks like looks awful to complete. I mean, I don't think they ever meant anybody to get everything. I think in a lot of JRPGs, they don't actually mean for you to get everything.
Yeah, but then why put in that stuff?
I guess. I don't know, it's just stuff to do, I guess. I mean, maybe they meant for you to play the game 4 times. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm fine with it the once, and that's kind of how I felt about it. Like when I beat it, is I was like, oh well, that's done.
Yeah,
I did that.
I still marvel that you could beat a whole game in 3 days, because I can't. I get so bored of.
I mean,
if I'm stuck with it for too long, I just have to. I take breaks a lot, so.
Yeah, no, I get you. That's how I am on some games. If like I said, I had nothing else to do. I wasn't working for those couple of days, so I'm just like, No. And it was like a Monday, Tuesday. It was like a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday. So like normal people have like jobs.
So you didn't have anybody to talk to, and you're just in your room by yourself, and you're like, okay, let's just iron this thing out.
Yeah, I'm like, let me just finish. I'm desperately trying to get through that game backlog. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I did that with Nier Automata. I just like sat down and beat it in a weekend.
Yeah.
Which I guess is not quite as long as the Tales game, but it was like 30-ish hours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't go super far into the Tales game too. Honestly, also this is to because I'm a pleb. I used a walkthrough for some parts of it because some of those dungeons just aren't good dungeon design.
Oh,
man.
I think this is maybe a contentious opinion, so the folks at home, before you get your pitchforks, I know there's so many hardcore Tales fans out there. I think Tales those are pretty bad at levels. I think they're just not good most of the time.
Yeah,
I've played a lot of Tales games, and I almost never like the level design. I think they're just like throw enemies, throw simple puzzle, here we go, throw a boss with bullshit mechanics, and bada bang, bada boom. There you go, Tales game.
No, if I had to do one more puzzle of like slide physics, I was gonna actively end my own existence.
Exactly. It's just like, and Vesperia, which I've been like pining. I want to play that game again so bad, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, those fucking wind puzzles. Oh, those wind puzzles.
It's just not like, oh my gosh. No, like there's like 3 times that there's like sliding floors because they just decide at one part it's like, oh hey, by the way, you're in space now. There's no gravity. Oh my.
Sliding floor puzzle. I just want to see the board meeting where they all just kind of decided. They were like, okay, well, our playtesters came back. They said they half of them killed themselves because the sliding puzzles were awful. So let's use it 2 more times.
Yeah, or let's just make our one dungeon. I think there was like one dungeon that just the layout of it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that game, I know it's like a JRPG thing. I just really, really am not a fan of like, oh, this is an intentional lost boss fight.
Yeah, I really don't like intentional lost boss fights.
And they do it like 4 times, except for this actually made me like really upset at it at one point, because I guess this is what I get for trying to outsmart the game. But it's where you fight like the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the second time you fight him.
Right.
Because there's the part where you fight, the spoilers guy, because you fight him before you fight the big bad in both of these fights. And apparently spoilers you can beat.
Yeah, I mean, so did you beat him this time, and then the game was
no,
like,
no,
you lost anyway?
No. Well, I didn't beat him, but because the first time it happened, I like reminded myself of like, oh yeah, I can lose here, and then like the second time I looked at them and like they were just as strong, if not stronger, and I like really wasn't. So I was like, oh, well, I'm supposed to lose here. But it turns out you're not just supposed to. So I just didn't do anything. I just like walked away to get a drink, and then I came back to a game over screen. Yeah, apparently you're supposed to like do a certain amount of damage the second time. But not just
okay.
lose.
So you have to. So they were like, okay, you have to actually try. Oh, that's bullshit.
You have to put up a valiant effort, and I was just like, but
I didn't.
And what the big part was is that I lost to him the second time, and I had to redo part of the sliding floor puzzle because I lost like 3 hours of save data. So I was just like, this game sucks. Favorite video game. This game's one of my favorite video games. This game sucks.
Yeah, reliving your past games is not always a good idea, because we've been kind of spoiled by games recently. The recent game stuff has definitely spoiled me, especially because like I've been playing Xenoblade, and I have some major problems with that game. But one thing I do think they do well, and I know Donkey like laughed at this, but like, or he complained about it, but in fights where you're supposed to lose, you're still supposed to win most of the time. I don't think
that was weird.
Yeah, you actually win in the game, but the cutscene you lose anyway. But at least that way you're never really confused. Like you never go to a boss and then like, oh, this boss is impossible, I can't beat him, and then you lose, and then they continue on from that. You always win against the boss, and then they just kind of narratively
they just
take
decide
it away from
that you like, oh, you beat him, his health went to 0. Oh no.
Yeah. That I've never played a game with as much like ludonarrative dissonance as that game. It is amazing. It is fantastic, because I don't know if you've ever seen this, but in that game you can fast travel from anywhere at any time, basically. Even in dungeons, you can just fast travel away. So there'll be times when like super intense shit's happening, like crazy nutso stuff, and you're just like, oh man, I need to go save such and such. It's really important in this quest chain. And then you're just like, yeah, but I could do some side quests. So you just leave. You just teleport out. You're gone for like 40 days. You come back, and the cutscene just leaves off from right where you were.
Yeah, no, I feel like JRPGs do that like a lot. They try to give you like this sense of, oh, you need to go do this right now, or otherwise like X character will die or the world will implode. But then you can just walk away. You
just walk away and do all the other side stuff, and it's like, it's so bizarre. It's just like the most bizarre feeling. You're like, I'm not doing any. And this is a minor spoiler. It's like the first 5 hours of the game. But your main character in Xenoblade and his party go to the city Gormont. It's on the back of this giant like 4-legged titan, and they find out that one of your party members is a fugitive, and then you kind of get grouped up in lumped up with them, and so you are a fugitive from the law. You are running away from the law. Yet at the same time, the game expects you to come back and do side quests in this city where guards are everywhere.
Do the guards like?
No, nobody even. They don't. The game doesn't even address it. As far as the game is concerned, you're not a fugitive, but unless it's a cutscene.
Yeah, no, okay, Tales actually did that exact same thing.
Yeah, and it's just amazing.
Is that just like a JRPG thing?
I think it just must be a JRPG thing. I just think it's amazing. It's like, the game wants you to do the side quests so bad, it's willing to destroy its own, like, sense of...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't know, it's a good game. It's a fun game. I think the RNG in the getting blades is bullshit, but besides that, it's a fun game.
I've heard you and Trop, our other friend who's also named Dan. Sometime we'll bring him on the podcast so we can have the Triple Dan cast.
The Triple Dan threat.
Yeah. But I know like you guys have been playing it a lot. That's like his whole thing is he was just like, I've been grinding blades.
Yeah, I mean, I've told him straight up, I'm like, Dan, you beat the game. Or you beat it, it's over. You can stop whenever you want. And he's like, but I gotta get the rest of this quest. And I'm like, you're gonna, Trav, you're gonna end up hating this game because you didn't decide to just stop, which I would have at that point. I don't know. After I beat the game, I mean, apparently it gives you a lot of warning when you're about to end the game, so you can go do your side quests beforehand, which is good. Which I'll probably do some. I don't know how much I'll complete of the game. I'm not a huge completionist when it comes to most games, so I just play a game until I'm done with it.
I like the completionist things that kind of make me feel good. I guess I can kind of segue off of that. So, going to the opposite of a JRPG, the game I've been playing a lot this last couple of days is Bastion. Mm-hmm. So, like the old school. I think we talked about this a bit because I think it was like $2 on Steam. So
that game's always on sale.
Yeah, well, because it's like old at this point now. Too.
It's like it's gotta be 8 years old now, right? Yeah,
something like that. I feel because. It was whenever Sword Art Online became a thing. Sword Art Online Abridged became a thing. Mm-hmm. They did the narrator joke, or the narrator joke was just
the Bastion joke, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is even like that might have even been a year after the game came out because that was around the time when the Bastion announcer for Dota came out, and that was like really big at the time because it was a like cross game thing.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. I like that game, but the completionist thing of it, that's the you've played Bastion, right?
Yeah, I played most of Bastion.
Yeah, it's the training grounds or the proving grounds, whatever they're called, where you can go grind out the weapons.
Right.
Like, I kind of like them because they're fun to, like, be good at. Because I'm not good at video games. Spoilers for our following dumpster goblins.
Yeah.
I am not good at, like, most video games. I'm the worst platformer that you'll ever see.
Don't worry, I'm equally bad at most video games. Yeah. I'm actually not terrible at platformers, but man, you throw me in front of most strategy games and I will ape out immediately and just kind of not know what I'm doing. I love
strategy games. Platformers, I can't, I guess my reaction time, I don't know if I got dropped or if I've been drinking for too long, but like I can't play platformers. I'm so bad at them.
Right.
Fighting games I do okay at.
I'm terrible. Oh my goodness. You want to see a man like get physically angry? Put me in front of a fighting game and put me against somebody who actually knows what they're doing, and I'm just gonna
play against our friend Chris.
Yeah, and I'll just sit in a corner and cry for a bit probably.
I like how Chris is a great guy, and he's done like before. He's been like, "Hey guys, let's all get together and play fighting games today," and we were all so bad except him.
Yeah, I think
we were all so bad.
He gets his jollies from just beating on us.
Hey, it's fine. He's good at them.
He deserves it. No, he's good at games.
Yeah,
in general.
But like I remember we were all there, and it's like, oh, we can have a good old time. I'm all right at the Mortal Kombat kind of series. I do all right at Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
I was okay at Smash. That's about it, I think.
Well, Smash isn't a fighting game.
I get out.
I mean, can you prove that it is?
It's a one-man podcast now.
Yeah, it's the Trey cast.
It's the Trey cast. Hello, listen to my voice, you dirty, dirty dumpster goblins.
Yeah, well, and for those of you who can agree with me and say that Smash is a party game, you can continue to listen to Trey's podcast.
Hey, you go to Evo, and the Smash brings some of the best numbers they get, so...
Yeah. No, I mean, I do like Smash. It's the thing. It's the whole argument of like, oh, well, at least like past Melee, people don't think it's like a technical fighter anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the newer Smash games. I think Melee is probably the best you get when it comes to like competitive Smash kind of games.
Yeah,
like competitive fighting games, but
yeah, not super crazy competitive, but like I really liked Smash 4.
Yeah, I didn't play a ton of Smash 4, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I actually played. I mean, most Smash I played was Brawl. I know, everybody. Crazy.
I didn't hate Brawl.
I mean, Brawl had some stupid. I don't think anybody should ever play Brawl competitively. That game is a terrible competitive game, but like it was fun. I mean, tripping wasn't fun, but the subspace emissary thing, that was a lot of fun. And it's like the game itself was cool. I liked it. Some of the mods are hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's where that game kind of came alive.
Yeah.
No, what were we on before that? So talking about like completing games with Bastion and stuff, I really like those kind of challenges too, because like I said, I like the challenges in games where I feel like I can actually be good at it, as opposed to something like Super Meat Boy. Like I've tried playing Super Meat Boy, and boy, do I suck ass at that.
That's a hard game. I never beat that game because I think our Xbox broke, so I never got a chance to actually finish it. I really enjoyed that game though.
I just like I got so turned off on it when people are just like, oh, it's crazy, or even like Cuphead came out last year, and I think Cuphead is a beautiful looking game. I like it. I really like that old.
I haven't played it. I still haven't bought in Cuphead. I really should.
Well, I know I'm not gonna buy it. That's the kind of thing I want.
Oh, because you know you won't enjoy playing it.
I'll suck ass
just, like,
at it. Yeah.
Yeah. That game, I don't know. I enjoy challenging platformers, so it's a.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's kind of where I like
boss rush kind of games too. So.
Yeah, I know I'll be bad at it. Maybe I don't know. I'm bad at pattern recognition or something.
Yeah, I know one game that I think that I really enjoyed. I didn't complete it. But I'm probably gonna go back at some point and do that because Hollow Knight was one of. I really like Metroidvania games. I've completed all 3 of the Prime games.
Yeah,
I just really enjoy games where you can explore places and get items that power up your character and stuff. But Hollow Knight, that's some good game. That's a good game right there.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people like that game. I feel like there was a lot of good games last year.
It slipped out. Oh yeah, 2017 is stupid. It's a stupid year for games not because of anything bad about it, but just because
there was plenty bad. But
my wallet couldn't handle 2017.
There were so many good games. Like I felt like because 2016, I feel like we had kind of a drought year. I'm sure there was great games that I'll look back and I'm like, oh, that game was fun. But I mean, I don't buy new games. That's my whole kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'm too poor.
Yeah, I mean, I usually buy games on sale if they're new, unless it's like something crazy that I really, really want, like Dark Souls or something. But
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
No, that's another one of those games like I never got into just because I always kind of knew I'd be bad at it. You know what I mean?
And it's a kind of a punishing game. I don't know. I still think you'd enjoy it. I think Dark Souls is something anybody can enjoy. It's just like one of those things that the internet's kind of tricked everybody into thinking Dark Souls is like this impossible game that nobody can beat.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know there's parts where like the game. What was I watching? There's apparently some things that like there's an item you can get in the beginning of the game. It's like the medallion or something, where it just tells you.
The first one?
Yeah, in like the first Dark Souls, there's just an item that they give you at the beginning, and they just say like, "Oh, here's the medallion. It does nothing."
Oh, yep, I know, yeah. There's
yeah. If it's a medallion, I don't know. I've never played it.
I can't remember it's been a while since I played Dark Souls 1, but yeah, I might have actually done nothing. I don't remember. I
think it did. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is like, oh well, does it actually? So like people would take it.
Oh yeah, no, there were people for I think literally years who were trying to figure out what exactly. I think it was like a necklace or something.
Yeah.
And people are trying to figure out what exactly this was used for, and it says it's of no real value in the description of the item, and they're like, okay, but why is this a starting thing? Why can you just grab this at the start?
Yeah, no, that's the part that I don't get. And then there's also apparently like I can't remember. I think it was a video that Matt, Pat, and Gerard did together where they like had to argue for pros and cons of Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can just make this podcast. Hey, let's drop famous YouTubers.
Yeah, let's just us, right? Big YouTubers. If definitely our good friend Matt Pat. You know.
Yeah.
I was talking to him the other day about Dark Souls, but yeah, no,
Yeah, I just realized this is also the second time we've mentioned Donkey on the podcast.
Oh, whatever, he's big.
Notice me, Dunk Senpai.
Donkey, please play games with me.
But no, it's a series that Matt, Pat, and Gerard did, where they kind of had to talk about, and apparently there's some items in there in Dark Souls that the stats just lie to you, or it's something where like it gives you resistance to something, or gives you, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I don't think I saw that video.
But kind of in the same vein as Dark Souls and completing games, I guess like what's the last game you 100%ed just because you really, really wanted to finish it?
Last game I 100%ed.
Yeah, like the game that made you want 100%.
That made me want 100%. Let's see. I 100%ed Majora's Mask like 2 years ago. Yeah, because like I don't know, something about older games especially. Maybe they're just easier to complete because there's not as much collectible nonsense in them. Maybe I don't know, because like I think that's like a newer thing. Because I mean, collectathons have always been a thing. Like even like N64 era especially, there's tons.
Yeah, but those collectathons were like good, and that was like the part of the game.
Yeah,
like,
but now a lot of them are just like achievement bait. So it's just like we'll just throw a billion collectibles in here just to pad out the length of this game, and I guess that's I don't know.
That's
like
a
that.
Thing people love.
Yeah, and again, like I said, for the most part, if I enjoy a game, I'll play through it once and then not complete it. I'm not a completionist at heart. I've never been. I get really bored of grinding in most games. So like if I feel like I'm wasting time, I just move to something else.
Yeah. No, I get you. I think the last game I 100%ed was probably... Oh, this is gonna be bad. It was probably Saints Row 4.
Really? 100% of hits?
Well,
I never even heard of this.
Because I really when I was living in Mount Pleasant and I didn't have a computer, I got a PlayStation 3, so it was the first time I've ever had like a PlayStation console, and I got like all of these old games. And PlayStation 3 games are also dirt cheap right now.
Yeah. I mean, PlayStation 3 is just by itself is pretty cheap too. If you just want one of those.
Yeah, and I kind of it's also more so saying this is like 2 years ago, mind you, so I wasn't playing a ton of games at the time, but like, man, I kind of really liked Saints Row 3 and 4. I think those are the solid games.
Yeah, I didn't play 3 or 4, which is funny. I played one, I didn't like one, and I played a fair amount of 2. I actually like 2 quite a bit.
Yeah, 2 is kind of, because the end of 2, I think, is where they kind of, that series hits its stride.
Yeah, well, I think after 2, they were like, okay, well, I think because, like, after 2 came out, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and they were like, okay, we give up. We can't compete with that. Let's just try something else.
Well, because the end of 2, isn't the end of 2, like, you become celebrities for doing crime?
Yeah, you, like, become crime celebrity.
Like the East Street Saints.
Yeah, and then the next game, the beginning, you're, like, you're robbing banks with giant heads of yourself, and you have like your own brand energy drink and stuff.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
The third game was just so much fun, and the third game kind of does like that gang war thing that.
Yeah, I think 3. I think that 3 would probably be my, like, if I had to like look at the one that probably interested me the most, because I thought 4 kind of went a little too far off the deep end in terms of crazy nutso stuff.
I'd say,
at least from like watching it. I didn't play it, so I maybe as somebody who did, you could say whether or not it's good,
it was a little crazy. I think it's one of the most just fun games I've played. It does the whole, like, it's very self-aware, and I think that's part of why I 100%ed it, is just because it made me laugh so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said about a game that can make you laugh. Like, Undertale made me laugh a ton, and I couldn't stop playing that game.
I do need to go back to Undertale, actually, now that I have a controller for my PC, because I hated playing that game keyboard mouse.
Yeah, I think I did play a keyboard mouse, but I can see why. It's really awkward to play the keyboard mouse.
Well, just some of the enemies in it, I just felt like trying to dodge them on a grid, I just didn't like.
Yeah. I can't remember how I played. It was a while ago and I played it, but I don't know. That game, something about the humor in that game really got me. I don't know.
I like it. I like Sans.
Very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I like Sans. I like Papyrus.
Papyrus is great.
And I think too, part of what got me is I was trying to do Pacifist.
Yeah. And I mean, you can play the game however you want.
Well,
I think
I was trying
to do the most mileage out of Pacifist, but
I was trying to do Pacifist, just like I wasn't even like intently doing it, because I was very out of the internet loop when I started playing that game.
Right.
So I kind of didn't know that it's like, oh, well, you have to play it Pacifist, then you have to play Genocide, then you have to do this, and I'm just like, okay. And I kind of I don't know, I kind of was doing Pacifist just because, like, half of the monsters, it's like when you fight that first ghost, I was like, why do I have to kill this ghost? He's not doing anything. Especially because
Toriel spends so much time telling you not to hurt things. So you're just like,
yeah,
I don't want to hurt any of these guys.
If any of the things that were like attacking me were like inherently evil, I probably wouldn't have tried to do the pacifist route. But by the time I like started doing it,
but like the first enemies you fight are like, it's a frog. This ghost is crying. Like, I don't. It's like,
it's just
I don't
sad
really see the point in attacking these guys. Yeah. And there's the next level is literally just dog people. Why would I want to kill dog people? So cute.
Yeah.
The dog. That big old dog in the armor.
Yeah, I think the dog too was confusing me because I didn't know like the exact thing to not kill it. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's like the biggest thing that's the hardest about that game is trying to figure out how not to kill things.
Yeah.
Because there is one fight in particular where you have no choice but to fight, and I think that's probably one of the worst parts of the whole game. Because, like, you spent the entire game not fighting things.
Yeah. So it's just punishing you, basically, for being...
Yeah, and especially that late, and it's a really late fight. I won't say what fight it is, because I think you need to experience it yourself. But But at that late point in the game, you're just like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. I've tried literally everything to try and spare this guy, and I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just frustrating because you'll die a lot trying to figure out whether or not you can spare this person.
Yeah. It's on my backlog. My backlog right now is just for a preview for, you dumpster goblins of what I'm going to talk about. Bastion, I'll finish eventually here. Probably next I'm going to try and finish Psychonauts, just because that game I've been trying to finish for like 3 years.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's really good. I just, I didn't have a controller again, and I hated the keyboard controls for it.
Yeah, don't play it mouse and keyboard. Play it controller for sure.
Then what's else? Undertale, and then I also have Shadow of Mordor, which I just picked up for like $5. So,
I have never played, so you'll have to give me the skinny on that one.
Yeah, I'll probably play that one. Yeah, I don't know. It's between that one and Psychonauts next. I'll see how I feel after Bastion, because I do love me some Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of...
Okay, so moving on to non-game topics.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of fantasy, do you want to talk about the shows we made each other watch, or how we're liking them?
Yeah, we can give a little heads up. I didn't finish the show you told me to watch. I'm going to finish it this week.
Yeah, how far into Ancient Magus Bride are you?
I'm still only on episode 4.
Is that the cats?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it gets good. The end of that episode.
Yeah, I really, really like that show.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
Isn't it?
It's a really good show. I love the music. I think the music especially, it really gets me. It's like it's sort of playful. Like it's not a soundtrack so much as it is just like playful rhythms, and then all of a sudden it just like hits you all of a sudden, and you're just like, oh
yeah.
No.
And if you're like a fantasy nerd, I know you like the Fae stuff. So I thought you'd like that.
I like the Fae magics and stuff.
Yeah.
I read the Dresden books. I know all about them.
Yeah, well, because like that show is like all British stuff. Like the Fae shows up,
British and Celtic folklore and stuff.
Yeah, and I just really like it. It's also, speaking of the music, there's one part where they do that thing every Japanese cartoon does, where they'll play their part in the episode, and then they'll just play the opening theme song, and it's such a good scene.
Oh yeah, I love it. That's probably my favorite thing when an anime does that.
Yeah.
It is just like, oh my god, cut the tape. It's over. This is done.
No, that like One Punch Man I think did that the best by a mile.
Yeah, they did that the best. Hell, even Xenoblade. Going back to games for just a second, there's a part where there's like the soundtrack comes in, and you're just like, what am I even watching right now? Because like that game's like half anime.
That game's anime as fuck.
Really long cutscenes in that game, and one of the cutscenes is like one of the coolest bits in like the whole in the game I've played in a long time. Anyway, back to anime. How'd you like your show?
I like it. I'm on episode 5 right now. It took me a while because I didn't realize the first 2 episodes were 45 minutes long.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. I'm alright with it. They weren't super, like, how do I say, they weren't super important to get what was going on. They were still solid. I like it so far. It seems a little, I don't know, like, what to call it. The characters all kind of interact really weirdly.
Yeah, I think that happened too in the first one too, because I hated Fate Stay, the first Fate Stay a lot,
most
and
people
I never read the visual novel, so like played the visual novel or whatever you want to call it. So like I didn't really have any context for what was happening, and the anime was terrible, so like I just didn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when you get into it, like when you get into what's happening, especially towards the end, like it's really good. Like that's a really good.
The fights have been super interesting too. Like I like the fights.
Yeah, they're pretty eye candy.
Yeah, they fought Berserker, and that was really cool. Archer, I just kind of want, because I also am like a history nerd a little bit for like these heroes and people, so I want to know who they are.
Right.
And like, Saber is King Arthur, but with a womanish. The Lancer is, I can't remember his name, but he's the Irish Lancer, Folktale.
Yeah.
I don't know who like anybody else is right now, and I just want that.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool trying to figure out who everybody is. I won't say anything.
Yeah, I want to figure out who Archer is, because I watched Fate Zero, and Archer was Gilgamesh, I think. And Gilgamesh shows up in this show, right?
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, I think I know who he is in it, but they haven't said his name yet. But there's a blonde guy who's acting like a total asshole, so I'm like,
I wonder who that guy is.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the big bad guy from before. But no, I like it. I'll keep watching.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, definitely one of those things. I mean, it's like 26 episodes total, I think.
It's very.
It was 2 seasons back when I was watching it. So that's why That's why I said season 1 last time.
Yeah, it's very consumable. Like for me, it's not.
Yeah. It's a pretty easy watch, and it only starts really hitting you like how the big important deep stuff starts hitting you around midpoint. So like the first 12 episodes probably aren't going to be super like story wise crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's good. So we're still watching our things. Maybe when we finish them, we can give our dumpster goblins an update. But
oh yeah, we'll give a dumpster, and then we'll switch it, and we'll give something we know the other person will hate.
Yeah. Have you been watching?
But I'm gonna enjoy.
Yeah, no, I got some ideas for what you hate. Have you been watching anything else at all this week, or?
Oh yeah, I've been watching a few things actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, staying with the anime thing. I watched the first 4 episodes so far of Devilman Crybaby.
I just watched some of the first episodes because I think when I told you about it, I hadn't watched it yet. That show is...
It's weird.
Right? Like...
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's happening.
I mean...
Because I never read I didn't even know about it till you told me anything about it.
Yeah.
I'd literally never heard about it before. And then I started watching it, and I was just... It's so weird. It is a bizarre...
Yeah.
It is an acid trip.
I mean...
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I like it or not. It's just, like... something to experience.
Yeah, the original Devilman, because the original Devilman is like an old show, and it was gory, but like it was gory and weird for the time, which was like the 80s or something.
Yeah, and I think the source material is like something like 40 years old or something.
Yeah,
so
it's an really old manga. But yeah, no, we can talk about Devilman Baby. I just watched a couple episodes, like just a little bit. It's so weird.
I love the soundtrack. First and foremost, the opening is awesome. I fucking love the opening. The soundtrack, just when it hits you, that synth hits you, and you're just like, oh my god, what's going on right now? It's so good. The animation, I don't know if I like it or not. There are some scenes I really enjoy, and then there's some scenes I'm just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, it's kind of like, because I think the studio that animated it is the same studio that did, and I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but they did Ping Pong, the animation.
Yeah. I think if it is, I definitely see it.
Yeah, it's that same kind of like, I can't tell if it looks like garbage on purpose or if that's just like how things look.
How they do things, I don't know, because like sometimes it looks all right. Sometimes like the scene in the club, I actually thought was pretty well animated.
Yeah, no, I really like the part where I can't remember the devil's name, but when he finally gets possessed, the kid does.
Yeah,
and Devilman
cool.
That's so cool.
And like all the monster transformations in that episode were crazy.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Was like...
But then you get to like when they're at school, and you're just like, what? What's going on?
Why do these people look like this? Also, why did everybody in the show?
Sometimes it just forgets what perspective is, and I can't tell if that's on purpose or not. Like sometimes you're just like, did somebody just like sketch this, and they just kind of were like, all right, forgets the storyboarding, forget like polishing it at all, just like throw it together, whatever, they won't care. I don't know, but like but at the same time, they could be on purpose.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I'm not sure if they did it on purpose or not, and that's at least to me, I'm an artist, so that's kind of a big deal to me.
Yeah, no, and I definitely get that. It's really weird because I kind of liked the original Devilman. I watched a little bit of it a couple of years ago because I got interested when they did Devilman versus Cyborg 009.
Yeah,
because I fucking loved Cyborg 009.
Cyborg 009 was the best.
It was so good. But no, so I looked a bit into Devilman a bit, but like, yeah, this new show is just so, and like a lot of people have been talking about it too, is what's getting me.
People have been praising it too. That's the thing. Like, I'm not even like dissing the show. I don't hate it. I'm gonna finish it probably. I almost certainly. It has enough of my interest that I'm almost certainly gonna finish it, and then I'll have like opinions then. But at least for the first 4 episodes, I'm not sure what to feel about it. Yeah. There are some things I don't love about it, but there's some things I do like about it.
Yeah, it's also like it's very Netflix to me too, because Netflix, whenever they get their original shows, they're always just like, we can put a bunch of nudity in.
Oh yeah, they have like the HBO problem where like this suggests because they can put a bunch of nudity in, they feel like they have to. I don't know. But then again, I think the source material is like that too. I'm not really
Devilman's all about, like, at least from what I understood, Devilman is kind of just like, you know, here's a kid who's very pure, clean, and everything, and then all of a sudden he becomes like this epitome of not, I don't want to say like excessiveness, but like impulse and like,
yeah,
you know, if you want, do.
And I kind of like that. I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on the female characters yet. I don't get why they're doing some of the things they're doing in the first 4 episodes. Like, they just kind of are doing some really, really shady stuff, and they haven't explained or given me any reason why they would want to be doing these things.
Yeah. It's very... The whole thing's very... Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying it's bad, because I can't. I'm gonna finish it, because I don't think this is not a show that really survives the 3-episode test very well, I don't think.
Yeah. It's also... I'm gonna finish it, but it's gonna be one of those shows that I'm gonna make sure I'm watching and nobody is around.
Oh, yeah, no, this is not a bring your friends show and tell. Hey, Dad, how's it going? Sit down and watch a murder rate for a bit.
You want to just see fucking?
Good.
You want to just see fucking? Because...
Yeah, you just want to see you want to see some kids do drugs?
Yeah.
You want to see kids do drugs, Dad?
No, it was like the first episode where... It was like one of the parts in the first episode where... I don't know if this will be like too much spoilery, but it's like the part where the woman one of the girls, topless girls, turns into a demon, but this is like why people don't watch anime.
Oh, yeah, no. I think Devilman is going to be like the prime example of like, don't...
Yeah.
This is why those Chinese cartoons
don't expose
are ruining
your
our
children
youth.
to Chinese cartoons. Yeah.
This lady's titty just turned into a mouth and ate somebody.
No, it was like when all of these tits started turning into mouths and demons, I was just like, what the fuck? Like...
That was one of those moments where you're just like, do you think God stays in heaven because he's afraid of what he created?
Maybe.
Sort of things.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, the original Devilman was about the same with that, because...
Yeah, and I think there's a point to it, too. So it's not just, like,
well,
gore porn for the sake... I'm pretty sure they're moving towards something. That's
yeah.
And that's important to me. It's important to me because, like, I don't like just watching violence for the sake of violence. I don't mind if it gets messed up. Like, I'll watch something if it gets messed up, but there has to be a point. It can't just be, oh, hey, we're just going to show some really messed up crap for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, that also, like, that's a show that I can tell the animators had fun with.
Yeah. They had some real fun with those transformation scenes. Yeah. For sure.
God, yeah. You been watching anything else besides that, or?
Okay, not an anime,
yeah.
But, and I think this is going to be a fun one to talk about. You probably haven't seen it, but I watched Bright last week.
I've seen so much on Bright, and I've heard so many different opinions. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, okay, so I didn't hate it, actually. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie at all. I think it's a enjoyable movie, if that makes sense. Like, if you can, like, separate yourself from, like, the critically, this is no Blade Runner 2049. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not gonna blow you away in any way. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, that was a good cinematography.
Yeah.
There's some good seeds over there. That's a good tree. They just put that in there. There's some perspective right there or something. No, you watch this and it's just like a garbage movie sometimes, where you're just like, especially the action scenes in this movie are like, they look like they came out of like an edgier Power Rangers. Like, it's just like some goofy nonsense happens. Like, especially because like the mythos for this is like, this is like the future of a fantasy Earth. So like all the races exist, like dwarves, goblins, elves, centaurs, orcs. And at the top of the food chain, you have the elves. They're like the 1%. They have an elf district, and they kind of live up. They're like super rich and stuff. And then like you have the orcs at the bottom. And the whole thing about it is like I think 2,000 years before the events of the movie, there was a war. Basically, there was a Dark Lord that it's like War of the Rings. There's a Dark Lord that rose up, and the orcs decided to side with the Dark Lord. And then the elves, humans, and dwarves all joined together and defeated him. And now the orcs are like persecuted because 2,000 years ago they decided to side with the Dark Lord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the baseline plot of the movie is that. And it's a kind of interesting premise because like, they live in modern times, but it's obviously a fantasy world, and they live in a fantasy LA, and it's kind of cool. I thought the premise was really cool. But it's like, going back to the action scenes for just a second, if I can take you on a trip, the elves in this movie, like anytime the elves are on screen and they're doing their like stupid Matrix nonsense, like they'll do like kick flips and crap for no reason, and it looks so stupid.
Oh, I might like this.
It's the dumbest stuff. Like at one point, this elf drives a mini like a sedan into a gas station, and like this is and, like all the elves in there are just like flipping over the aisles and stuff, and this is so stupid. I love it. It was great, and it was funny. Like yeah, it was a funny movie. I think the the main plot of the movie, was really bad. I think that anything to do with the wand was stupid. Mm-hmm. I thought the subplot of like orc racism,
discrimination.
I thought that was way more interesting to me personally than some stupid wand nonsense.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of all the trailers I saw for the movie really made it just look like one of those pieces where it's like, hey, we're gonna talk about discrimination in this very unique and clever way. Orcs are black people.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder who the orcs are in this analogy. Which is even funnier, too, because it's not just about the orcs. There's also, like, a Mexican gang in there for no reason.
Are they of people,
so,
or, like...
Yeah, yeah of people, of actual humans. And so, like, is this movie about black people?
It kind of...
It's obviously not about Mexican people because they have their own faction.
Was it one of those
not portrayed really well?
Was it like Zootopia kind of where like there's the message of racism, but it kind of all gets tangled up?
It's very and,
yeah,
like where it's very like very yeah. Actually, I think Zootopia is a pretty good comparison.
There's the trailer I saw where they're just like, "Welcome, our nation's first orcish police officer," and I was like, "That's literally the scene from Zootopia with the rabbit."
Yeah, it's very much that, but it gets its own message. Kind of, it's not quite as I've told you I have some bones to pick with Zootopia as a movie. I enjoy the movie, but man, its analogy on racism is not a very good one. So like, that's probably why I give it so much crap. Also, it beat Kubo's. Kubo, and
that's still hashtag justice for Kubo, but
yeah, exactly. Hashtag Kubo. Kubo didn't die for this. But great movie. But okay, so back to the Bright though. Mm-hmm. Besides that, it's a fun movie. I think the buddy cop orc thing, because Will Smith is just playing Will Smith in this movie.
I mean, yeah. Like, what has he done for the last 10 years?
Yeah, it's actually because like I kind of miss Will Smith. Like the last few movies Will Smith has done have been really
After Earth,
not Will Smith. Yeah, After Earth, After Earth. Yeah, this one you can tell he had a lot of fun with it. Like you could tell that he was having a good time on set, and that really shows. Mm-hmm. And the orc, I don't know who the actor is, but because he was in makeup the whole time. But he also was having a ton of fun. So, like, the scenes that they're talking together, just the two of them talking, are really good. Like, you're just like, wow, this feels really heartfelt because the two actors are selling it so hard.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is super charismatic, and all the other characters are, like, super two-dimensional, and, like, there's some stuff that makes no sense, and the action scenes are total garbage, but they're the best kind of garbage. I'd say see it. I think, okay, if any, it's not a good movie. It's not good by any stretch. I think there are way better things to see. But if you have a Netflix subscription, I think it's a good use of your time. It's a fun movie.
I'll check it out. My Netflix time lately has been... I need to diversify it a bit.
Oh yeah, what have you been spending your time with the Netflix?
Yeah, if I can kind of steer into what I've been doing.
Yeah, take the floor.
I've been watching a lot of nature documentaries. So Planet Earth.
Oh 2. yeah. The last time I was at your place, you were watching
72 Dangerous Animals, which I don't like that series a little bit. I like hearing about the animals, but the guy who narrates it is so bad at his job.
Oh yeah. Like how bad.
It's just like he's always just like, oh well, look at this scary snake. Look at how dangerous it is. It's a snake. It's scary. It's called or he'll like do the thing where like something will pop up on screen. It's like a bull shark is like, this is known as the pit bull of the seas. It'll like pop up on screen. Which first of all, I'll take offense to that to defend pit bulls. But that's a whole other thing. Secondly,
so he over dramatizes.
Not even like over dramatizes, but it's like that pops up on screen, and then like 2 minutes later he'll be like, "That's why this animal's called the pit bull of the sea," and I was like, "You can't say the same thing over." Yeah, Also, you can tell that whoever made the show is just afraid of snakes.
Oh yeah, do they spend like way too much time on snakes?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of dangerous snakes, but they're just like, if you see this snake, it will bite you.
It will absolutely
it will, like,
kill you.
They're like trying to make it sound like these snakes are like seeking out humans, or they were also saying it's like, compared to the number of people this animal kills, this snake is more dangerous than a mosquito. And I was like, well, that's not right if you're going off that. But
yeah, that doesn't sound right.
But I mean, I've been watching like that, and that's just because I like animals and shit. And
yeah, you're very much into that. I've been having a craving. I'm probably gonna actually watch Planet Earth.
Watch Planet Earth 2. David Attenborough's voice is very. Also, that's just nature porn, and I love it.
Oh yeah, this is what I have my nice 144 hertz monitor for. Actually, no, sorry, I'm gonna throw it up on the 4K TV. I'm just gonna
big screen that shit. Throw it up while you're at work. Educate Garrett and Chris a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like, Chris,
we're learning about animals now.
Animals. Nature.
But that's like just my go-to. And then I've listened to Dave Chappelle's new special, the first one at least. I didn't get the second one.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, that's the first one's a good one.
Yeah, that one was so good.
I love it. Wasn't it so good? Like when he kept coming back to the OJ stuff, people didn't like that show. There's a lot of people who didn't like that.
I mean, Dave Chappelle,
and I don't know really.
Whenever he does a special, people get kind of offended. I mean, it does the part where I like how one thing I like he did is he called back to like how he when he did his special, was it last year he did a new special with Netflix or 2 years ago now?
I think it was like last year.
Yeah, but he made like the joke.
Maybe like early.
Yeah, he made like the jokes about transsexuals, and a lot of people got upset. And then in this one, he like
kind
of explained himself, and I think he did a good job of like explaining where he's coming from.
Yeah, and I do think he's maybe a little touch insensitive towards like that community.
Oh, well, yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think he does anything egregious to that community either. Like,
yeah, I really like the part of
he's a community. He's kind of the kind of comedian he is. He says some shocking stuff.
Yeah, he's always been like on the edge.
Insensitive stuff.
Yeah, he's always been on the edge, and I think that's where comedy's always kind of lied. But
yeah, I don't know. I think it was good. I think it was very, especially it was a very well structured routine. The first one, especially.
Yeah, no, okay. I think one of the funniest jokes he ever did was it's the joke where he's like, "Man, I'm too good at comedy. I'll write a punchline and then I'll write the joke around it." And it's so I'll kick her in the pussy, and then he does the one callback to it, and I loved that. I was like, okay, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Good job. And then it's when he does the whole thing talking about the woman who lied in her testimony and got Emmett Till got the people who murdered Emmett Till, let them get off easy because she lied in her testimony.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would find that woman and I would thank her for helping to create the America that were like, all this. And then he's like, and then I'll kick her in the pussy. And I was like, beautiful.
Yes. It was
really
great.
good. Yeah.
I like Dave Chappelle.
I've been kind of like hunting down comedians again lately. I'm trying to get back into writing. So I went and saw Nick in Grand Rapids. So promoting another local comedian who I'm related to.
Yeah, how did he do?
He did pretty good. He's really, really, really good at comedy. He's really solid writing. He really looks the part because he tells some jokes about weed, and boy does he look like a fucking stoner. But if you're listening to this, Nick, you're great.
Yep, you're one of our dirty
you're a dumpster goblin now, Nick. Welcome to the club.
You dirty boy.
Please stop. Yeah, no, that was really all I watched this week.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything else besides that, really. But yeah, besides the stuff I mentioned. But I have some viewership ahead. I'm gonna probably try and finish Devilman by next week.
Yeah.
Or the next time we get together. So
yeah, you can finish up Devilman, Ancient Magus Bride. Maybe I'll try and get Fates. I'll try to get Unlimited Blade Works done too, and I've got some other stuff I'm planning on watching here. I gotta finish Arrested Development.
Oh, you never watched Arrested Development?
No, I just started like a week ago. I finished the first season.
Oh, I think you're in for a treat. I really like that show. Not the Netflix seasons. I didn't really like the Netflix seasons as much, but the original shows was good. I
liked it. So yeah, I'm withholding judgments on the Netflix seasons. I like it. So that's what I'm going for.
Cool. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say so. I think that's a wrap. So. We have our assignments, Captain. We'll head on out. Thanks for tuning in again, Dumpster Goblins.
Yeah, you beautiful people. Join us again next week for another Low Effort podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Contact us. Information's in the thing. Trey's in charge of that. So.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
See ya.